Hi, everyone. I'm Peter Giannetti of Homepage News, and welcome to another episode of Rapid Fire with Circana. I'm joined again today by Joe Derochowski, home industry advisor for market analytics company Circana, to get his data-backed insights on the trends and developments shaping the home and housewares business. In this latest episode, Joe will share his unique views on what he calls the 4 stages of 2025. Each stage is played out against a disruptive backdrop of, well, do we even really need to say the T word anymore? Yet all of them are underpinned by strong and enduring consumer and market factors. So if you're ready, Joe, let's get started. And what better place to start than at stage 1 of 2025?
Well, stage 1 is the turtling stage of the year for the consumer. We started off the year very much home-centric. Our desire was to be in our homes, whether it was to cook food at home, to entertain at home, but we were much more home-centric. And similar to what we saw in the back part of 2024, we're also hitting the replacement phase for a lot of our categories. In fact, across all general merchandise, the only industry that was up in both dollars and units were small appliances, and housewares was also there. So our industry was one of the main places that the consumer was spending their time and their money as it relates to our industry.
So the industry was in a good place at stage 1. Let's go on to stage 2.
Well, stage 2, I call it the pull forward stage. What happened during this period is the consumer was trying to anticipate things that they're going to need throughout the year and looking for ways to get ahead of the curve of all these items. And so it was one of these things that we still were home-centric, but there were other things that were catching our eyes. You know, some of the categories that we saw grow were computers and televisions. We also saw in our industry things like room air conditioners and espresso makers and air fryers. So we saw some of these categories that the consumer was just trying to get ahead of things. And so we saw them pulling some sales forward.
Well, at some point, things had to move to the next step, and that's stage 3. Tell us a little bit about that one.
Well, stage 2 was pull forward. Stage 3 is spring forward. You know, there's a lot of things that the consumer and the industry are going through. And this is a time when we're starting to implement a lot of the strategies and things that we were starting to work towards. And in this phase here, it still is really important for us to remember that the consumer has needs, and we have to make sure that we are part of those. But right now, this is the stage where we are springing forward to the new things that we are trying to address, to the strategies that we developed, and we're implementing those strategies at this time.
Well, we got to finish somewhere. Let's finish at stage 4. What's next, Joe?
Well, stage 4 is it's up to us. You know, what we have to do is we have to figure out and we have to remind ourselves that we're starting from that base. Those needs of that first stage, that underlying home centricity is here and will remain here in this stage 4. So because of that, we have to make sure, are we still innovating and launching new products and coming out with new products? Are we still marketing and trying to win mind share versus other industries? Are we still doing things to capture the attention at the shelf and win at the shelf? Like, are we remaining to be aggressive during this period? And if we are, because of what happened in that first stage, I like our chances. But it's one of those things that we can't take the pedal off the gas, foot off the gas. We need to continue to be aggressive during the stage and be on the offensive part.
Well, Joe, thanks. I want to congratulate you. You actually stayed away from using the T word. Nice job. They all know the word right now. And I think these are very revealing insights as the industry works through this period of uncertainty to execute for the all-important back half while doing what it can to look beyond 2025 to what most people hope will be a very clear, or at least a clear 2026. Thanks again to Joe Derochowski of Circana. For Homepage News, I'm Peter Giannetti. We'll see you next time on Rapid Fire with Circana.